you'll clear the ship.
Yeah, I'm clear. Were you able to decrypt Vorsalon's flight data?
They were encoded with a double hexagonal holokey, but one of the files was unprotected. It looks like coordinates to the Bernelia sector.
Well, it's not much, but it's our only lead. Upload them to my ship and I'll meet you there. Ratchet out.
I've got beer in the brewing of, since I'm looking to get into home brewing. Pop music that I hate, part 2. How well you would do in a fight with a dinosaur, since I actually can fairly accurately state that, since I have some experience not fighting dinosaurs, but about knowledge.
Dinosaurs in general?
Yeah, okay. And then, forum suggestion, the only one I got. Hooray. Which guns in this game would work best against dinosaurs? So we're gonna do that just because.
Yep.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with how well I would do in a fight against a dinosaur. My vote would be poorly because I am super tiny and I don't know how to use any guns.
Well, that's actually fairly interesting. Okay, so the average dinosaur about the size of a sheep really depends on what dinosaur you're going up against. Let me look something up.
I like this guy's mouth.
Right. So, I hear a lot about, you know, in Jurassic Park 2, when the girl is swinging on the bars like it's gymnastics, and she swings
She
and
kicks the fucking
rap.
raptor? Yeah, that was super dumb.
That's actually not that dumb.
Oh, really?
Yes. You gotta remember that basically dinosaurs are birds. Birds are dinosaurs. They are effectively the same thing, just slight differences in that some of them fly and dinosaurs didn't. Birds are literally dinosaurs. And as such, the dinosaurs, the non-sauropod dinosaurs, pretty lightly built. Very lightly built. So, now the dinosaur in Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor, doesn't actually exist.
Yes.
That's a made-up thing.
Yeah.
There's Velociraptor, it's the size of a turkey. Let's see, the closest thing would be a Deinonychus, which is not quite as big, but it's about 6 feet long, 4 feet tall.
Whereas it was a little bigger in Jurassic Park, wasn't it? Looked like it was a little bigger in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Then there is the Utah Raptor, which would be pretty close, actually.
And we all know Utah Raptor, and if you don't know where Utah Raptor, why aren't you reading dinosaur comics?
Right, there's a little bit variance. Largest described Utah Raptor would be about the same size as the ones in the movies.
Alright.
Let's see, so they would be like 9 to 11 feet long.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And would stand about 6 feet tall.
Yep.
So that's about right. But for the purposes, we're going to go with Deinonychus, because the Utah Raptor is just a little too big. Deinonychus is a little too small. But I like saying Deinonychus more than Utah Raptor. So, a Deinonychus, being really lightly built, would... Basically, it's entirely possible that she could get the momentum needed to kick the dinosaur off the crate. Now, let's take a tiger. A tiger is about 11 feet, including tail length.
Yeah.
And, you know, weighs about 670 pounds. This is because of a mammal. Mammals are really stupidly densely built. We have thick
Floating
bones,
crates.
lots of muscle mass, and body fat, lots of body fat. Birds, comparatively, have thin, hollow bones, not a lot of muscle mass, except in, you know, the wings and all that, and little to no body fat.
Right.
Unless talking about penguins. Penguins are kind of messed up.
But penguins are adorable, so they are forgiven.
So let's compare the tiger and the Deinonychus. You know, they're about the same overall size and height and length if we're not including the tail on the tiger.
Right.
But whereas the tiger weighs about 670 pounds. 70, 80, somewhere in there. It'll be bigger. The Deinonychus would be upwards of 300 pounds. Yes, that gives you an idea of how lightly built they are.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that the girl could get enough momentum to knock the raptor off balance and off the crate.
So it's not completely stupid and retarded. It's actually...
It's still kind of stupid, just because it's in the movie, and Jurassic Park 2 was kind of terrible. But
Yeah.
it's not
Any
implausible.
Jurassic Park that is not the original Jurassic Park is kind of terrible.
Yes. Okay. Second of all, how you would do in a fight against, let's just use Deinonychus again. Alright. So, Joe
Wait,
Average...
before you go on that,
Okay.
the reason I cut to before we defeat all of the enemies on here is because of this. As soon as the game loads it up.
You just upgraded to the
Yeah. 3 missiles at once. Alright, you may continue your dinosaur fight.
Dinosaur Spurg.
Yep.
Spurgathon. Okay, so Joe Average versus Deinonychus. Let's say Joe Average is 5'11", about 180 pounds, works out every once in a while, is in fairly decent shape.
Alright.
Deinonychus standing at about 4 feet tall, 9 feet long with the tail, and about 180 pounds.
Right.
So they're about, fairly evenly matched in terms of size.
Right.
Now, the advantages that Deinonychus has: fast, lots of sharp bits, and agile. Advantages the human has: Joe Average,
Because here I am.
big,
offering it
thick,
for free.
strong, and pretty tough. We have something, I'm sure you know, the adrenal system.
Right.
Basically means that when shit's going down, we get crazy, stupid, strong, and fast.
Adrenaline.
Yes.
When me.
I don't remember if birds have that or not. I don't think they do, though. I think that's a mammalian thing.
While paying for
But that doesn't really come into play at all. But what the thinking is... So let's say Joe Average, just armed with his fist, versus Deinonychus. It comes down mostly to who gets the first hit in.
Come on down to the moonlight lounge.
Now, the Deinonychus will probably have the advantage in here being fast and stupid.
Yeah.
He's quick.
Get in.
It will probably get the first hit in. It will probably disembowel Joe Average. Joe Average will probably be still kicking around for a little bit even after that, but it's going to be panicked and not happy. It can probably get some solid hits in. I would say Deinonychus versus Joe Average with bare fists. Joe Average and Deinonychus. Deinonychus will win most of the time. Occasionally, Joe Average will take Deinonychus down with him. And very rarely, Joe Average will win. So, let's say Joe Average with a large rock. Again, this comes down to...
Because we are tool-using beings.
Right. This again comes down to who gets the first shot in. And if it's the human, a good shot is going to shatter the Deinonychus' basically everything. No matter where it hits, it's going to basically burst internally. They are not strongly built. If you hit a human in the chest with a large rock, you will probably break a few ribs and bruise and maybe cause some internal bleeding, but we are tough. We do not get nearly the credit we deserve. Mammals are built like tanks.
I mean,
Seriously.
we had to survive somehow, so...
We grew up in Africa. Have you seen the shit that lives in Africa?
Lions live there, fuck!
Water buffaloes and hippos are my
Yeah.
primary concerns. But anyway, we are built pretty well, actually. We can survive a lot of shit. And so, comparatively, Deinonychus will just shatter like glass. Its ribcage will just break. Just crush it internally. It will be gone.
Anything more advanced than a rock, it would pretty much be human every time.
No. Like I said, the Deinonychus has the serious advantage in speed. Most of the time, they're probably going to inflict mortal wounds on each other. But like I said, if you got a rock, or even just your bare fist, you can basically just bash Deinonychus' head in. They are... You ever kicked a bird?
No, because that's me.
Canadian geese. Canadian geese are assholes. Because they are dinosaurs, therefore they are assholes. But...
Alright.
They're basically just posturing. I'm gonna admit I hate the hell out of them, and I have kicked one of them once. It was actually biting me and threatening my little brother.
Ooh.
I kicked the crap out of it. This was when I was like 13 now, so back off. They're technically protected species, but who gives a crap? Anyway, I did kick it. 13 years old. Basically shattered it. It basically caved in. Birds are not very strongly built. I'm just going to keep stating that over and over. You could probably, just like I said, crush a Deinonychus head in just by hammering it with your fists. If you really wanted to. But, of course, counterpoint, the Deinonychus would be, like, right up there and be probably disemboweling you in the same act.
Probably.
So you're, like I said, mortal wounds on each other. So we get, like, if we start getting up larger than Deinonychus, yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But if you took a pride of lions and dumped them into the Jurassic period, you would fuck up the entire ecosystem, basically. There are lion packs that take down elephants. Elephants are big and massively built.
They really are. They're huge.
Yeah. I have no doubt that there would be lion packs that, if you put them in a Jurassic, would eventually figure out how to take down some of the smaller sauropods.
Alright, so, next subject. Let's go with pop music that we hate, part 2. Because that was hilarious. We can also roll that up into pop music that we actually like, so... Because I actually do have a couple words on that.
I hate Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars! Most of his stuff I hate. There's a couple songs that I like, mostly his early stuff, but, like, yeah, Bruno Mars, fuck Bruno Mars.
Yeah, let me just clarify that. I hate Bruno Mars' songs, every single one of them. Every one of them. He could be a perfectly nice person, but I do not like a single one of his songs. I kind of liked that one song. Christ, I can't remember the name of it. Locked Out of Heaven, I think it is. I kind of liked that song, and then I found out it was about Halle Berry. And now it's just creepy.
Yeah. I fucking hate the Lazy song. Oh god, that... There's a verse in which he shoves his hand down his pants in the music video, and I'm like, fuck that, no! You don't do that! You don't fucking do that! I hate you!
Okay, the song, When I Was Your Man. I detest that song so much. It's a combination of being Bruno Mars song and a whiny breakup song, and I already hate whiny breakup songs.
Who else do I really fuck... I'm gonna actually talk about a band that I really, really like. I really like Fun. Not so much their first major single that they had, Tonight, or We Are Young, but I really like, Some Nights. Some Nights is probably one of my favorite pop songs at the moment.
Cool. What the hell is that song about? Because every time I've heard it, I've always got the... It always makes me think of, like, the Iraq War, just with the lyrics.
I don't know. There's a bunch of different theories. There's one theory... There's one theory that it's actually about movies.
Huh.
Yeah. But I really like, Some Nights.
Yeah, I can take or leave Fun, but they're alright.
I also like Foster the People.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I'm not an indie fan. There's tons of indie stuff that I hate.
Pop band that I actually like. I have no apologies for admitting this. I actually like Kesha.
She seems to be getting better. Like, she seems to be doing better now that the whole party rock phase of pop music seems to be dying down. But I still don't like a lot of her early stuff.
I just kind of like her. I don't know. It's one of the. It's weird. I should, by all rights, hate her, but I don't. I actually like her songs. It's weird as hell. Like, I will stop and listen to Die Young every time it comes on.
All you can drink, grog, don't it?
Just one genre in general that I cannot stand is country. Like, I know we were making fun of Taylor Swift last time we were talking.
There's some good country, there's some bad country. Country rock as a whole, though.
I can't stand country. Like, the only country song that I really like that isn't a Johnny Cash song, because I realize Johnny Cash is mostly country anyway, is Devil Went Down to Georgia. That's about it.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash and Devil Went Down to Georgia is about the extent of country that I enjoy.
Yeah. I just remembered this one song that's been on the radio, speaking of pop song, which I can only describe as country rap.
What?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's... But it is seriously country rap, and the first time I heard it, I was like, well, it's official. Music is dead.
Oh my god.
Somebody start playing American Pie, because it would never be more appropriate than right now. Music has died. I'm going down to the levee in my Chevy.
There was one time I saw, I'm pretty sure it was a viral video at some point, but it was a song called Christian Side Hug. But and it was about the values of like not having sex before marriage. But here's the thing, they stole the Imperial March riff. You can hear it in the music that they stole the Imperial March riff from Star Wars.
Okay. Okay. No. Okay, I looked it up. The song is called "A Cruise" by Florida Georgia Line. I'm gonna have to link you this afterwards because it's seriously country rap. It has Nelly in it. Nelly does...
I hate Flo Rida. No, I hate Flo Rida.
Florida Georgia Line.
Okay, I thought you said Flo...
Yeah, a band that you've never heard of before. Probably for a good reason.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see what we got next on the list.
Weapons that would kill dinosaurs in this game.
All of them.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say, well, given the description of what you were telling me about dinosaurs, pretty much any weapon.
Maybe some of the larger sauropods could stake up a couple hits from the Adjudicator, but no. Sauropods were built more closely to mammals, but they're still dinosaurs.
Right. I mean, we basically saw me. Well, if you watch the bonus videos, there was pretty much bonus videos of me killing dinosaurs in the last game. So like, but they were just way tougher built than most dinosaurs are apparently.
Okay, so let's subject. Beer and the brewing of it. So I've mentioned before in a previous video, I'm looking to get into home brewing. I have not started yet. I'm still doing research. I'm still looking at what I need to buy and all of that. And I'm not sure if I want to get into it, but I can tell you a little bit about it. So,
alright.
I'm going to have you ask questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Alright, what do you need to actually get started?
Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Most of the places that sell brewing supplies sell starter kits. Basically, in these starter kits, you get usually it's a plastic brewing bucket. It's got a tight lid on it, and I forget the freaking word for it, but it's a little pipe that you stick out that lets air out during the fermentation, so the whole thing doesn't, just burst. But I forget the damn name of it now that I actually need to remember it. Upgrade.
Ooh, new lasers. They're proton cutters. I think these are the ones that I think I equip, and then the game... Oh, here we go. Yep.
Cool. But Anyway, basically in the little starter kit you get your little brewing supplies. You get basically every physical thing you need to brew, depending on the starter kit itself. Some of them include a glass carboy, which is basically a big glass jug that you do fermentation or storage and stuff in. Actually, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm still learning. But your average kit, they run from like $80 to in the 200s range, depending on which one you get.
Right. What are the differences between the starter kits?
Like I said, it just depends on what you get. Some of them include like your carboys, your stock pot, cappers, stuff like that. Most of them are capper, and your ladles, and various other little things. Generally, you're good with like $120 one.
I have 2 more hollow
I really don't know what else to ask, because I don't drink. How long would it take to make anything?
Okay, generally, for 5 gallons of brew, you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be fermenting in the big carboy for like 1 week. You're going to be boiling it for, boil the wort for 3 hours, you put it, and then you transfer it to whatever you're going to be fermenting it in. And it ferments for a week. Then you either put it in kegs or bottles. You add the priming sugar, which is what the yeast will actually, after the fermentation is done, the yeast will latch onto this priming sugar, and that's what actually forms all the CO2 in the beer. And you bottle it or you put it in the keg, and from there it can sit from, depending on what you're brewing and the alcohol content, it can sit from, the minimum is a month, more or less, and then you can brew some high alcohol content brews that will actually age pretty well. And you can put them in like a wine cellar.
Well, since we only have like, I don't know, less than 2 minutes left, I'm gonna just pull out a weird random fact.
Alright.
Some palm trees actually have a sap that actually ferments itself within an hour into a really sweet wine, and it's basically a good way for people to do a wine on demand job. The only problem with that is that it ferments so fast that within a day it just turns into vinegar.
How does it ferment itself?
Like, it's just, once it meets the air, it just starts fermenting itself.
But
It's
does
that-
it like have yeast growing in it? What the hell?
I don't know. It was something I read on Cracked, but Cracked usually is good as a source for random bullshit like that. I forget exactly what it does, but I know it basically ferments itself.
Maybe the air down wherever that tree grows is particularly yeasty or something.
Yeah, maybe.
There's like super yeast, and the sap must be incredibly full of sugar.
Right. I don't think it's every palm tree. I think it's just one specific kind of palm tree. But yeah, there is a palm tree that basically gives you wine within an hour and vinegar within a day.
Oh.
And now we're done. I hope you liked our random bullshitting.
Dinosaur facts, CLP.
Samaritan is if you do 20 side missions.